CRPF barracks placed at strategic places across Manipur as part of security measures to avert further violence. Andro village becomes one of the best tourism villages in the heritage category across the nation. New Chinese heliport being built close to line of actual control near Arunachal Pradesh fishtail vision worries India. And Middle East on edge as second wave of explosions in Lebanon kills 20, injures over 450. Hello and welcome. You're watching ISCOM English News and I'm Ruby Unkai with you. Now let's take a look at the news in detail. Chief Minister N. Biren on his Facebook account today informed the completion of CRPF barracks placed at some of the strategic places across the state. He also informed that the CRPF personnel have already been deployed in these barracks while few others are nearing completion. The completed CRPF barracks are located at Imphal West District's Phaying Ching Lekai and Sanjam Chirang. Barracks have also been placed at Nongpok Sekmai Police Station and Hairog in Thoubal District, Kaitel Manbi Outpost and Channung near Yunako School in Imphal East District, Barubekra in Jiripam District, Gampipai near Under Saparmaina Police Station in Kangpokpi District, Warweching VDF Outpost and Laingang Tabi VDF Outpost in Bishnupur District, Palil Police Station Campus and Khongnang Faisabi Village in Kaching District and two other barracks at Churuchampur District Headquarters, Reserve Line and Singat. Andro village of Manipur has been selected as one of the best tourism villages in the heritage category in the Best Tourism Villages competition organized by the Ministry of Tourism. The competition was organized to acknowledge a village that best exemplifies a tourism destination which preserves cultural and natural assets, promotes community-based values and lifestyles, and has a clear commitment to sustainability in all its aspects, economic, social, and environmental. The Ministry of Tourism had announced that the winner would be facilitated on World Tourism Day on September 27 in New Delhi. The selection of Andro was announced in a letter addressed to Commissioner of Tourism, Government of Manipur, Deves Deval by Joint Director General, Ministry of Tourism, Arun Srivastava. It stated that Andro village of Manipur has been selected as one of the best tourism villages under the state category in the 2024 edition of the Best Tourism Village competition. The letter further invited Deves Deval to take part in the upcoming event. Meanwhile, Chief Minister N. Biren on his X handle extended his heartfelt congratulations to the people of Manipur on the selection of Andro village as one of the best tourism villages under the heritage category by the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. He said this recognition is a testament to the state's rich cultural heritage and the efforts of Andro in preserving its traditions and natural beauty. He called on the people of Manipur to take pride in this achievement and continue working together to showcase the unique heritage of Manipur to the world. The central government yesterday approved a plan to fence the entire 1,643-kilometer India-Myanmar border, which is known for smuggling of arms, ammunition, and narcotics. The project is expected to cost 31,000 crore rupees. Union Home Minister Amit Shah said that the fencing work had been completed in 30-kilometer stretch of the border, which he termed the root cause of the ethnic clashes in Manipur. The Indian-Myanmar border passes through the states of Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, and Arunachal Pradesh. Shah has been regularly monitoring the situation in violence-hit Manipur and ensuring that necessary actions are taken up to restore peace in the region, which has been affected by the ethnic violence. The Cabinet Committee on Security has approved the construction of border fencing and roads along the 1,643-kilometer international border between India and Myanmar at an approximate cost of 31,000 crore rupees. According to reports, nearly 10 kilometers of fencing has already been completed near Moreh, and work is underway to fence another 21 kilometers of the border in other areas of Manipur. Notably, the central government has also scrapped the India-Myanmar Free Movement Regime (FMR), which allowed people living close to the border to travel up to 16 kilometers into each other's territory without any documents. The FMR regime was implemented in 2018 as part of the India's Act East policy. The Biren Singh-led Manipur government has also started using 25 mobile vans as shops to provide essential commodities at fair prices to the general public, operating in all districts of the state. A 32-year-old widow belonging to the Kuki-Zo community was found dead under mysterious circumstances near P. Vengnomt Logo School in Churachampur district last night. The identity of the deceased was established after the body was shifted to the Churachampur district hospital for a post-mortem examination. The deceased, Boise Joyce Chahina, was the wife of late Hobson Khongsai of Churachampur district. A case has been registered in this regard and investigation is ongoing. The Dental College Regional Institute of Medical Sciences RIMS Imphal has been awarded first prize at the national level in the Nanhi Muskan Little Smile project. The prestigious recognition comes as part of the month-and-a-half-long outreach initiative organized by the Indian Society of Pediatric and Preventive Dentistry. The Nanhi Muskan project, held from 16 July to 31st August 2024, was spearheaded by the Department of Pediatric and Preventive Dentistry, Dental College RIMS. Its mission was to empower and uplift underprivileged children through comprehensive healthcare programs, including free dental screening and treatment. The initiative extended its services beyond dental care to include medicine, pediatrics, eye and ENT checkups. In addition to healthcare services, the project distributed free medicines, Ayush health kits, stationery educational materials, and art and craft supplies. To nurture creativity and holistic development, upliftment activities such as art and craft classes, drawing and painting sessions, poetry workshops, and storytelling were conducted by professionals. The award will be presented during the inauguration ceremony of the annual National Conference in Bangalore, scheduled for 26th of September 2024. The recognition is a testament to the unwavering dedication of the team in making a positive impact of the lives of underprivileged children. RIMS Imphal expressed immense pride in its dental college and extended heartfelt greetings to everyone involved in this incredible achievement. A team of the Facebook pages and WhatsApp groups called Manipur 360 and Manipur News today visited the bereaved family members of Ngangbam Surbala of Kautruk, who was shot dead by Kuki militants on September 1st. She is survived by her husband Ingo, 14-year-old son Mahesh, and 8-year-old daughter Rosia, who was also wounded in the same incident as a bullet grazed her arm. The visiting team shared the grief of the bereaved family and extended a financial aid to ease their difficulty up to some extent. Kaching Municipal Council under Amrut 2.0 project organized a tree plantation program cum cleanliness drive at Kaching Wairi Salam today. Speaking on the occasion, Kaching Municipal Council Caretaker Chairperson Naurem Sanjit Kumar said the cleanliness drive will be continued till 2nd October as part of the nationwide Swasthya Hi Seva mission. He appealed to all civil bodies, local clubs and the general public to take part in the cleanliness drive to help shape a clean and healthy society. Caretaker Councillor of Kaching Municipal Council were also in attendance at the cleanliness program.
Club sing civil society organization punamagnasu Kaching Municipal Council na sangsinjargiba asigumlaba cleanliness drive sida mateng pangsinbiduna hena kapung phaba ama ohenminasi aduga yamna taru tananba sahar ama laina tina chendaba Nada Yekaba, Adugumba, Yamna Taru Tananba, Sarama, Ohendada, Leviriba, Section Kurin, Atova, Udang Naduna, Chai Sabi, Tanaipadaba, Togaba, Adugumba, Haudani Hanak Sandi Haraga, Luganan, the Yumpam Alba, Swasthya Hi Seva, Sigumba, Tabakasi, Bharat Kumbagi, and Sansiliba Sida, Aitogi, Manipurgi, Kaching Iramdam, Masigi, Sandi Haraga.
As part of the series of assistance program taken up under Kumbi MLA as Prem Chandra, CGI sheets were distributed to the destitute families of Wangu Terakong Maninglekai today. CGI sheets were also handed over to the local Merapaibis for constructing a local Merapaibi shade in the area. Merapaibis of Wangu Terakong Ward number 8 Terakong Maninglekai lauded the local MLA for his efforts to help the impoverished family and the Merapaibis of the area. The Manipur State Power Company Limited MSPDCL has informed that online and offline application form submission for direct recruitment on contract basis for 86 numbers of Group C and Group D posts in MSPDCL will continue from 23rd September 2024 till 27 September 2024, considering the grievances of the applicants who were not able to submit the form due to the recent flood and prevailing law and order situation in the state. It further informed that the duly sponsored applicants may submit the online application mode through the link provided in the company official website https://mspdcl.in or through offline mode by downloading the application form from the company website and submit the filled-in application form in the counter open at the corporate office of MSPDCL Kaisampat, Imphal West during office hour from 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Reports are coming in that a new Chinese heliport is being built very close to the line of actual control LAC that could significantly boost China's military capacity in this underdeveloped and remote area. The heliport is part of China's broader strategy of fortifying its military presence along the disputed frontier with India, raising fresh concern in New Delhi. As per report by India Today, in a significant development that could alter the strategic landscape along the Indo-China frontier, China is constructing a heliport just 20 km east of the line of actual control LAC near the sensitive fishtail region of Arunachal Pradesh. The facility, situated along the Gongri-Gabu-Gyu River in the Nyangchi Prefecture of the Tibet Autonomous Region, lies within undisputed Chinese territory. However, its location near a sensitive area of the broader heightens concern about China's growing military capacity in the region. Open source satellite imagery from EOS data and analytics confirmed that there was no construction at the heliport site as of December 1st, 2023. However, by December 31st, satellite images showed land clearing activity marking the onset of the project. High-resolution imagery obtained from Maxar on September 16, 2024 indicates that construction has progressed significantly with the heliport nearing completion. A Meghalaya surgeon is facing serious allegations of medical negligence after reportedly leaving a bandage inside a patient's abdomen during a cesarean section. A State People's Front (ASPF) has called for an immediate investigation into the incident, which occurred at the Zengalt Subdivisional Hospital in West Garo Hills district. The patient, Mansila and Marak from Lower Nengsa, North Garo Hill, underwent the procedure on January 29th. She had since experienced severe pain and discomfort, with her health potentially at risk due to the alleged oversight. ASPF General Secretary Bernita Marak submitted a memorandum to Meghalaya Health Minister Amparant Lindo yesterday, detailing the accusation against Dr. Susie Paul Francis, the surgeon involved. The organization emphasized the need for accountability and measures to prevent similar incidents in the future. Sensation spread after the body of an ITBP personnel was discovered under suspicious circumstances on board the Rajdhani Express. Identified as Havildar Narzari, the ITBP personnel was an employee of the Indo-Tibetan Border Police and hailed from Dhulaura in Khagarpur under North Salmara subdivision. The incident unfolded after the train departed at 8:30 p.m. on its journey towards Uttarakhand, where Havildar Nazari was headed for duty. The following morning, passengers at Aligarh stations were met with a grim sight: Nazari's lifeless body lying in a seat. Immediately alarmed, they reach out to the family to inform them of the tragedy. The sudden demise of Havildar Nazari has left his family in a state of profound grief and disbelief. Just a month and a half ago, he had celebrated the arrival of his newborn daughter, Mukti. Now his young daughter will grow up without ever knowing her father. The family's sorrow is compounded by a deep sense of unease as they struggle to comprehend how a healthy man could die so suddenly. Nazari's family has raised serious concerns about the circumstances surrounding his death. They suspect foul play, alleging that he might have been poisoned by unknown assailant during the journey. Given the abrupt and mysterious nature of the incident, they are determining a thorough investigation to uncover the truth behind his untimely death. The family remains in Aligarh, anxiously awaiting answer as the authority probe into the Jawan's death. Tripura police seized a large catch of banned cough syrup worth 12 lakh rupees from an abandoned room inside the Kakchang residential complex in the Nandant Nagar area on the outskirts of Agartala last night. Speaking on the issue, New Capital Complex Sub-Divisional Police Officer SDPO Subrata Burman said that local living in the Kakchang residential complex observed some individual unloading sacks into the abandoned room, which was previously used to store construction materials. He said the police received information that an abandoned room, which was used to store construction items, had been accessed. Last evening, two individuals arrived in a vehicle and unloaded some sacks. The local noticed this and, finding it suspicious, informed the police. When the police arrived and started verifying the contents, 35 sacks of banned cough syrup were found hidden inside the room. The STPO added that around 5,000 bottles of cough syrup were seized, although no individuals were found at the scene. Prime Minister Narendra Modi targeted the Abdullahs, Muftis and Gandhis, saying they have brought only fear and anarchy to Jammu and Kashmir, and added that the region will no longer remain under their control as the local youth are now challenging them. He also accused these three families of believing that it is their birthright to grab power by any means and deprive the people of Jammu and Kashmir of their legitimate rights. He was addressing a public rally in Srinagar today. He said the youth whom they did not allow to progress have come out against them. Modi further criticized Congress, the National Conference NC and the People's Democratic Party PDP for creating divisions and asserted that the BJP is uniting everyone and bridging the gap between Dil and Delhi. Modi claimed that the Abdullah, Mufti and Gandhi families have destroyed the youth's faith in democracy, but now the youth are realizing that only their vote can bring real change. Jammu and Kashmir is voting for its 90-member assembly in 3 phases. The first phase of voting was held on September 18th. The other 2 rounds will be held on September 25th and October 1st, counting to take place on October 8th. Walkie-talkies and solar equipment exploded in Beirut and other parts of Lebanon yesterday in an apparent second wave of attack targeting devices a day after pagers used by Hezbollah blew up. The health ministry said that at least 20 people were killed and more than 450 wounded in the second wave. The attack, which were widely believed to be carried out by Israel targeting Hezbollah, but have also killed civilians, have hiked fears that the two sides' simmering conflict could escalate into all-out war. Speaking to Israeli troops yesterday, Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant said they are at the start of a new phase in the war. It requires courage, determination and perseverance. He made no mention of the exploding devices but praised the work of Israel's army and security agencies, saying the results are very impressive. In yesterday's attack, several blasts were heard at a funeral in Beirut for 3 Hezbollah members and a child killed by exploding pagers the day before. The state news agency reported that a photographer in the southern coastal city of Sidon saw a car and a mobile phone shop damaged after devices exploded inside of them. A girl was heard in the south when a home solar energy system blew up. The new blast hit a country still shaking with confusion and anger after the previous day's pager bombing, which killed at least 12 people, including 2 children, and wounded some 2,800 others. Now the headlines once again. CRPF barracks placed at strategic places across Manipur as part of security measures to avert further violence. Andro village becomes one of the best tourism villages in the heritage category across the nation. New Chinese heliport being built close to line of actual control near Arunachal Pradesh fishtail region worries India. And Middle East on edge, a second wave of explosions in Lebanon kills 20, injures over 450. That is all we have for now. Thank you for watching ISCOM English News. Have a good evening.